Hi there, I'm Bea, a mixed media artist. Join me as I explore art and creativity, one project at a time. Okay, today I'm gonna play again in my golden thread journal, and I have pulled out a whole stuff of things I want to do in a mixed media collage. There is fabric, there is papers, and I know if it works out, I want to work with this wax, gold wax. There are little pieces, big pieces, dyed in the class. But I also have pieces of map, jelly prints, signatures floating around. The main thing is here from a magazine, this figure, this winged figure, which I want to use. Probably gonna also use some part of this sideboard and maybe from the carpet, I don't know yet. So I'm gonna make me room here and then we start with the project. First of all, I need to decide which page I want to use. That could be one. Not this one. Nope. There's no rhyme or reason how I pick it. It just, when I turn the pages, it tells me, yes, I want to be that page. And maybe I'm gonna use this page, which is a packaging paper, so it makes sense to add a little bit of sturdiness with more papers. So that's what I'm gonna do. Now, let's see. I'm always thinking about adding more pages. I didn't fold it correctly, it seems. Let's see if that works. Now, if you add a page, you have to make sure that it is slightly smaller than the original page, otherwise it's going to be hard to close it. And I think I want to do that. Yep, so I'm gonna use, well, what I'm gonna use. Now there's the dilemma. This is a very thin paper. If I use a glue stick, it's gonna wrinkle. Which side in and which side out. I think I like it that way. Okay, I think I'm gonna do a combination of glue stick and the tacky glue, just to be on the safe side. So don't think when you have finished your art journal you can't add more pages, especially if you do it like I did it here. I have very thin signatures, so because I knew I'm gonna add collage and maybe pages and things like that, now I forgot to add my glue. Okay, talking and working is sometimes difficult. Let's try that again. Okay. Yep, I like that. But I'm mainly going to work on... maybe I need to extend it a little bit to this page. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay. As always, there's going to be part where I speed up. I'm going to edit out things that are boring, like me fussy cutting this figure with the angel wings. So but stick to the end for some more tips. And while I'm while I'm cutting out, I'm also editing the backside, and I think the word royal I'm gonna go in my box with words. Don't think I need the bedroom, Schlafzimmer, but royal, you never know when you can use that. You can't keep everything, otherwise you're gonna be drowned into junk. Okay, what else do we have on this side? No, nothing specific, not sure about that yet, so I leave it with, because maybe at one point I want to use this pink chair. I know for sure I want to use that. With that I'm not sure, so I'm gonna put that aside for the moment and concentrate on fussy cutting. I will see you again when I have fussy cut everything. Okay, now I have different options what I can use as a background. I kind of like this, this is one of those paint chips where it says Emoji-Yellow, Emoji-Gelb. I kind of like that. I'm not sure about that. Nope, that has to go. But I did also dye this page, and I think I might use, no idea what it says, but that's totally okay with me. Now, looking at this page, there is a number down here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but for me it's clearly, it is this direction. That's the top and that's the bottom. So I'm gonna turn that around. I do that a lot also with my papers I can read, actually, just because I want the texture of the fonts, not, I don't want people to read it. So that's what I want to say. Now, where do you go? I really want to extend it a little bit on this page. That would look like that in reality, so let's put it that way. Right in the middle? No, not right in the middle, that's boring. Never do things right in the middle, that's a little bit boring. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but there is some gold paint in here, and I kind of feeling I want to add. And by the way, it's a tissue paper where I did jelly print. I think I want some more circles like this, so I'm gonna grab a punch and punch out some circles. I was also thinking about this dyed really old lace I have. Just so you know, I got it already teared, so it wasn't a whole piece at all, so I don't feel bad to tear it more. In fact, I wouldn't have taken that piece of lace. They would have dumped it, so it would have been burned. Here in Switzerland we do burn our trash, so I don't feel bad using it up. Also, it took me a while to get to that point, just because that is all handmade. I'm sure about that. But I try to use up every bit and piece of this laces here. I kind of like that. Maybe on an angle makes it more interesting. And what else? I also do have this fabric, but kind of maybe on the edge here, just this little piece. But it has to go in all the way because I have to fold that back. I also want to make a tab up here. I feel like I want to make a tab here. No, don't like it. Don't like it, but maybe the map. That's too busy. Just have the feeling I want to strengthen that a little bit. What about a piece of fabric? No, don't like it. I like the brown background, so I have to strengthen it from the back side, I guess, in another project. Okay, let's start with, I kind of like that right in here. I have to remember that. Just like that. Actually, I could glue them down right away before I forget about it. Now, it is a tissue paper, so I'm gonna use the matte medium. Just have to make sure that I have something underneath. Okay. Now at the bottom of the journal, I don't like things hanging out because they're gonna be bended when you put it in a bookcase or something like that. So I'm gonna cut that piece back, but I'm not worried about the things that are hanging over here. It's not a lot, so, but at the bottom I don't like it hanging over. Here we go. That's this. That goes back here again. Now let's see if I remember what I did. Sometimes I take pictures, sometimes I just leave it to whatever it comes out. So if you want exactly how you have laid it out the first time, I really recommend make a picture with, just grab your phone and make a picture so you remember how you did it. As I said, it's not always that important for me. I think I have to change that. So here we go. Well, straight is different, isn't it? Here we go. Now there is a back and the front with this kind of flowers. It is really flat here on this side and it is more dimensional on this side. Of course I wanted the dimensional side on top, but which way we do it? It's a little bit too steep of an angle. Nope. I'm just wondering if I'd rather do it like this. No, I like it better this way. I think I want to add this button over here. Just change of mind. I'm gonna do a tab with the big circle. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. That's the wrong one. So I'm gonna add a tab here, just because I like tabs, the look of it. But first I'm gonna add this button here. And maybe even I'm gonna add a little piece of that. Nope, but a little piece of that. Yep, that's it. That is a leftover. And I think I'm gonna add it like that. Yeah, like that. I think no, I want nope. I think that's it. I try to center it the best I can. I'm not good at those things. Also, my lines are rarely straight, but at least when I do it by hand. So, a lot of my things are wonky, which is okay with me. That is a very slick surface, so I'm gonna use a little bit of a nail file, just an ordinary nail file, and rough it up a little bit. Now for that I'm gonna use fabric glue. I do have Collage, but there is other fabric glue out there. I do have a quote here, yellow, the color of hope and happiness. That's what I want to add, maybe over here somewhere. And yes, I'm gonna cover up some stuff. And I lately was in a thrift store and found this template. I think I want to use that to add the quote. By the way, that's a copy of one of my eco-dyed papers. I think I want it a little bit more yellow. I'm gonna use the Distress Ink Fossilized Amber. Cat hair everywhere. Yeah, that's better. Like that better. Now I want to bring in that yellow a little bit also to the other parts of the page, so I do have one of those acrylic markers. And just start with mark making. Okay, here we are. Is the page finished? I'm not sure about yet. Sometimes I have to put it away for overnight or something like that and then decide. At the moment I have the feeling it is a little bit empty, but I'm not sure what it is missing. But maybe tomorrow I decide it is fine the way it is. That's it for today's art journal page. I hope you enjoyed and I hope to see you soon again. Take care. Bye.